Okay, today is February, what is it, 6th, 7th? 7th, thank you. And I declare the Chartered Clubs Committee meeting started. And with that, if we can stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I've called the meeting to order. We will establish a quorum. We are only missing one person who has a personal emergency. So we do have a quorum. And I've been asked to make an announcement for the viewers at home. There are some internet issues that may cause the video that you're watching live to buffer and to be interrupted. After this meeting, the copy that is recorded here will be uploaded so you can view that without interruption. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is get approval on the minutes, the meeting minutes from our last meeting as amended. I will ask Nick to talk about the amendment that he found.
Yes, I seem to remember that you asked us to look at the past meetings and the discussion and presentations that were made about Club of the Month.
Yes, I did do that, so that the meeting minutes have been amended. Are there any other amendments or issues or challenges to those meeting minutes? Okay, they will be accepted as amended. Thank you, Nick. I will call on Casey for staff report, 301 Chartered Clubs update.
Hello. Just a couple things, IRS issues. We are very well aware of them. There's been a lot of changes, and there's nothing we, the rec centers, can do for you because it's asking for your personal information. So we're here to try and see what we can do about it for the time, but just ask maybe, Jack, we look into this. It ties your social security number with the tax ID number. And with our treasurers changing so often, that's not a very good practice. So
Don't our clubs have EINs?
Yep, but it wants your social security number. We've worked with a few clubs, and it's been pretty difficult. 990 N. Yep.
So they can't file taxes?
They can if they're willing to give their personal information. And once you open it, apparently one of the clubs that's done it, once you open it, you see everything. So a new treasurer comes in, that person will then see the past treasurer's full personal information.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk afterwards on that. Thank you.
And then just a reminder, I'm sure we'll hear about it at the end of this meeting, but ARC has their car show this Saturday, so hope to see you all there. I had to. That's it.
Tom, you can come down at the end and announce it again. Okay, under the new business category, section 7 of our agenda, the liaison reports. I know that we've still been experiencing some clubs that are, well, most clubs are turning over to their new board. So, and they've just now, within the last week, gotten their new boards in place. So if you can give me any updates you might have above and beyond that, otherwise I'll assume everything else is going fine. So.
Yes, we just got our list. I sent contact information out to all of our clubs, just introducing Karen and I, and we're hoping to set up a group meeting sometime within the next month or so with them. It was really effective last year to get a group of them together and discuss various issues, so we're hoping to do that.
Anybody else have anything above and beyond that? Okay. Nick?
I have two things. One is the Beardsley Pool sound issues. It looks like there is a resolution, but it's expensive and it needs budgeting. So it will be some time before that will be fixed, if it is going to be fixed. And the other thing is that as I've spoken to clubs and made contact with them, one thing which has come through very often, been mentioned to me several times, which I don't think is said enough, is that the presidents have told me that the recreation centre staff are very good, very helpful, they have no issues, and they think that they're all pretty excellent. And I just don't think that seems to be said enough.
That's great, thank you. And if anybody's here, can pass that along to them or encourage them to watch the video, that would be great, so they can get the message.
Jack, can you have people announce what liaison group they're with when they speak, please?
Okay, sure. Kathy was arts and crafts. Nick is
Fitness and dance.
Carol?
I
And
spoke
which groups?
hobbies,
Hobbies.
and I spoke with all of them in January because some did change offices, and as a result of that, I'm helping one of the clubs with a special project that they're starting.
Great. Vicki?
I've sent out email messages to a couple of the presidents because I'd like to attend either a board meeting or a general meeting, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. And I'm determined that this week or next week, I'm going to go learn how to play shuffleboard, which should be interesting. I have been at a couple of board meetings for pickleball, and I'm getting to it a little by little because I'm very busy with the subcommittee report.
Which is good in your sports. Mary Kay?
I'm with the hobbyist clubs also, and a couple of the clubs have come to me and said that they're having problems printing out the CR7 in the Excel file format. I was one of them. I had to end up taking it to the rec center and have them print it out for me. But there was at least 2 other clubs that I know for sure that are having problems printing out the CR7. And they also asked, why is there a sheet in there for the craft fair when we don't have craft fairs anymore?
Casey, you want to talk to that?
I put a request in for that be fixed a while ago. Not fixed as of like yesterday? Okay, I'll get that on that. Sorry.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, good. Thank you for your updates. That's great. If I can I'll turn it over to Kathy to talk about the Clubtrack Sub-Committee update.
Okay, not a lot, because we are waiting for everybody to receive their January and February reports. Hopefully they will be getting them, and once they have done that, then we'll proceed to our next process, which will be trying to get information from the clubs about what kind of report they would like to see in the future, if it's available for them. So.
And when were they supposed to start getting these reports?
They should have gotten January reports the 1st of February, first few days in February.
Okay, so
Should have gotten a data dump and the report that we selected that had the date and time, I can't remember exactly, of member sign-ins.
okay, and how are you going to find out if they've gotten those? Just by asking them?
By asking them, yes, that's really the only way.
Yeah.
Rip and sew, okay. I didn't get one in silver crafting either.
Okay, so why don't you put together the email like you did prior to, and I'll send that out. And then
Okay,
they can reach out to you and let you know.
perfect.
Yeah, because
That
we got
The MailChimp, okay.
some club officers up here on the committee that have not received theirs either. And I see a couple other heads shaking.
Yeah, just keep me posted.
Okay. Tournaments and league subcommittee update. Vicky or John, Vicky, you want to give an update, or who wants?
He's pointing at me, so I guess I get to.
Okay.
Coincidentally enough, we had a meeting this morning, a work session. At this point, we have met with all of the presidents and vice presidents of any of the clubs that we felt that we needed clarification in reference to some of their answers on the questionnaire slash survey. And we cleared them up. And now what we've done is this morning we entered into analysis of the data, which we'll be conducting over the next couple of weeks. And then we move into the actual writing of the report. So I think we're kind of on schedule for the presentation at the March 7th meeting of this committee.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. Any questions so far from the committee? Yeah, go ahead, Karen.
Well, we're talking about clubs not getting reports, and I've run into this with some things that were supposed to come out that I haven't gotten. But is there a way to make a button somewhere on there that it's click here to acknowledge the receipt of this report? And then if you don't get a response back, you've got a list of who probably didn't get them.
It's possible. It's a question of whether, they want to take the time to do it or have having the resources to do it is probably the bigger issue.
Instead of the club liaisons having to call, did you get it, did you get it,
Yeah.
did you get it? If you've got 22 clubs, that's a lot of contacts.
Just a reminder, this doesn't come from us, it comes from a third party. It's that School Vision, so we'll
Oh,
have to
yeah.
see if they
Yeah.
offer that. That's a good idea, but
Yeah,
we
okay.
can ask.
Okay.
Any other questions? I've kind of skipped over it. I want to give you opportunity to ask questions. Okay, the last item of new business is the RR&P revisions. And the purpose of this discussion is to, I think you all got this ahead of time. What this is a reformatting of the current RR&Ps. There was no content changed. It was just put into a format so that there were a couple additions made to it. So for example, after the title page, there's a change log where you keep track of the revisions, what they were, the change date, who did it, and when they were approved. Then there's a table of contents that is actually functional, that when you have, if you're dealing with the electronic version of the RR&Ps, you can click on the item in the table of contents and actually get to that particular topic. So the only other change to this has been to format it so that each paragraph has its own reference number. So the content is still the same. I understand it needs revision, but if you're in agreement that this is acceptable, this will be very helpful when we get to the point where we start to change the content. We can have paragraphs that we can refer to by number, and that will help. So if there's consensus that this is okay, then we'll take that recommendation to the governing board. If there's discussion about it, let's have it now. So yes, Mary Kay.
I took both of the formats, the new one that you're proposing and the old one, and I took it to several different clubs, several different officers. Unanimously, they all wanted the original. They did not like the 1.11, 1.1.12. They did not like that. They found that very confusing and very hard to follow. They liked the original format,
Okay.
and I have to agree with them.
That's okay. Anybody else?
I like the new format.
Okay. Vicki? You turned it off.
Having worked with during the last couple weeks with first the old one and then the new one, I found the new one to be a lot easier to work with as I was going through it to see what changes I thought might be called for. I just thought the citing of it was much easier and much easier to find.
Yeah, I find it much easier to go through as well, but I am used to having documents in this format and numbered and paragraphed this way. And when people are making comments and changes and adjustments, it's very easy to zero in on exactly the point that people are talking about. But I must admit, I haven't sent it or shared it with any club presidents to get their view.
Any other comments? Carol?
I think the new format, it's much easier to reference. Instead of going through an entire paragraph, something you're questioning, you can refer specifically to the number. Much easier, I think.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, so then I'll ask for a consensus, yes or no, to recommend this to review for the governing board. So I'll start with John.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mary Kay.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Yes.
Carol?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
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 Okay, that is 7-1. So we will, I'll move that to the governing board, let them see the changes and the proposed changes, and get them to concur that they also like the format. So with that, so thank you on that. Number 5, category number 5 here, committee comments. Any general comments, topics, gripes, complaints, words of praise?
No, but I have a question about, as we start going through this, do you have some instructions for us as to what we should be addressing first? Do you want to do it chapter by chapter? Do we go through the whole thing? What?
Assuming this gets the approval of the governing board, what I would propose is that we would review this in chunks, digestible chunks for a meeting, and that we just look at those, and that unlike what has happened in the past, there will be one person who will make the updates to that, and that will be me, so that we're not dealing with changes made out of sync and multiple people making changes. That just becomes very difficult to manage. So that's kind of my approach to that, my thoughts on it. Does that make sense?
It does.
I mean, I want to increase our chances for success is really what it comes down to. Any other comments? Nothing? Oh, your guys are easy. Okay, well, that's good. Any questions, any comments from the audience? Tom, you want to come down and do your spiel?
For sure. You know what my wife calls me? Car salesman? No, Talking Tom. Not unusual. It's not unusual.
Okay, Talking Tom. Yeah, go ahead and write down, and then we'll let you go. And while you're doing that, I'll remind the viewers at home that the backup copy of this that's being recorded live will be posted up on the website in case you're experiencing buffering or intermittent interruption issues.
Thank you. Tom Jones, 110390, and I'm remiss that I did not bring tickets with me. I've got a customer right here with cash wanting to buy tickets, and I dropped the ball. I'm sorry. But anyhow, as Casey said, Saturday is our annual car show. You can see the color of the shirt. Kathy, they think we're prides.
Hey, tell them about our parade and everything.
40th anniversary parade from the prides. I could wear this shirt there.
You could.
Yeah, it's March 4th.
March 3rd.
March 3rd. But this weekend is our car show, and we'll be raffling off the car. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, you can get them at the shop or at the event. So they'll be on sale. They're $20 each, or 6 for $100. And I understand two of the governing board members came down yesterday and bought tickets, and I wasn't there. And I was told, oh, the board's coming down and buying tickets. So congratulations, and hope we get a winner of somebody we know here locally. Thank you very much.
And Tom, what time does the show run?
Well, we're there at Oak Dark 30, but it starts at 8 o'clock, and the awards will be about 2 o'clock. So I think the raffle of the car is 2 or 2:30. But if you come, just plan on being there all day long, walking, and hopefully you find a parking spot somewhere. Not Fry's. Don't park at Fry's. They don't like that unless you're buying your groceries. So we'll have availability of food. There'll be food vendors. We'll have a swap meet. Our sponsors will be there, and we'll have a car corral. So if you're interested in buying a classic car or a car, there'll be some for sale as well. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Any other comments from the audience? Okay, before I sign off, I want to go through the checklist of to-dos. So there was a tax issue that was raised. My to-do is to get with Casey, learn more about it, and try to come up with a way to address it. There was an issue with the CR7 fix, the spreadsheet. That's on Casey's to-do list. There is a Clubtrack reports. People haven't gotten their reports yet, so Kathy is going to craft an email to send to Casey for distribution for clubs to let them to find out what the status is of their reports. Did I miss any assignments? Okay, and then with that, I will close the meeting. We'll adjourn the meeting, and we'll see you next month, March 7th, 2023 at 1:30. This will be where the results of the the Tournaments and Leagues Subcommittee will present an overview of their findings. So we'll see you next month.